Since the Russian military operation in Ukraine, the West is hell-bent on showing Russian President Vladimir Putin in a bad light. Rumors of Putin dragging the war, exploiting Russians, and facing a blow in the war are a common sight in newspapers. Biden and Zelensky have left no stone unturned to defame Putin. But as they say, truth can't be overshadowed for long, and that is exactly what is happening. Hello and welcome to TFIGlobal, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host, Piyush. Let's begin. In a video address after the meeting of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Ukraine is ready for negotiations with Russia, but only with another president of the Russian Federation, not with Vladimir Putin. He quoted, "Ukraine was and remains a leader in negotiation efforts. It is a state that has always offered to negotiate with Russia on coexistence on equal, honest, dignified and fair terms. It is obvious that with the current Russian president, this is impossible. He has no idea what dignity and honesty are. Therefore, we are ready for dialogue with Russia, but with another Russian president." Interestingly, this response of the Ukrainian president came after Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed that he wants to stop military action and for Ukraine to return to the negotiating table. The statement came earlier on 30th of September after Putin signed agreements of accession of territories of Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia to Russia. Putin stated, "We are calling upon the Kyiv regime to cease fire immediately, to stop all military action, stop the war it started back in 2014 and return to the negotiating table. We are ready to do this." It has been stated numerous times. Another thing here to point out is how such statements about the new president are coming to light. How come Zelensky could ask for negotiation with a new Russian president? Certainly, there is something fishy in this dramatic statement. Zelensky's words point out to a probable conspiracy of the West regarding a coup against Putin. This won't be shocking to assume, as the West has given many hints before related to its intent to take Putin out. Just a few days after the Russian-Ukrainian conflict started, senior US Senator Lindsey Graham has on live television called for somebody in Russia to assassinate President Vladimir Putin. The senator stated, "How does this end? Somebody in Russia has to step up to the plate and take this guy out." Senator asked, "Is there a Brutus in Russia?" The senator was definitely referring to one of the Roman ruler Julius Caesar's assassins. So you can see that to take Putin out is definitely a strategy of the West and Zelensky. But the idea of a coup against the leader is definitely a far-fetched one on their part. Why? Because of the admiration Putin has from his citizens. The kind of support Russian president gets from the Russians is nothing but overwhelming. This is not based on any assumptions or biasness for the man. It is a fact which is quite evident from the recent ceremony held by Putin to declare the annexation of Russian-controlled territories of 4 Ukraine's Donetsk, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia regions. The number of people gathered to listen to him and celebrate with him was huge. You can hear them cheer their president from miles away. They didn't look disappointed in him or tired of his arrogance, or didn't seem like seeing the occupation of territories as illegal annexation. A smiling and confident Putin greeted them and in return got an energetic and supportive audience. Analyzing how at every step Biden and his administration tried to slander Putin shows that the efforts to oust him are not that superficial, but they are definitely delusional. Putin is clearly a strong-headed leader whose actions are ratified by his countrymen. So the West should get over its habit of interfering in other nations' matters, especially related to leaders the people want to follow. Also, Zelensky should get out of his bubble and accept the mess he has made out of Ukraine and its people. It's high time his delusions should stop and he comes to the right senses.